trading, in my opinion. If I were to rank all the things that are really important for a trader to figure out, what trade to enter is really pretty much toward the bottom of the list. And it's all the things that come after the trade. It's your sizing, it's how you understand risk, it's how you're cutting risk, and it's how you're managing your head. Because the reality is that everything about a person's character, no matter who you are, is out to sabotage your success if you're a trader. It's out to force you to do the wrong things. You know, you're constantly battling your inner demons as a trader. So
February 3rd, 2026. Let's go over the trades I took today and talk about life. So, as always, we start by looking at the daily momentum of the NASDAQ. You can do the same thing with SPY, the S&P. I personally look at the momentum and the nature of the NASDAQ, and they're almost mirrored, you know, they're almost the same. So what is going on with the momentum? So the momentum is the MACD. Now, what do you see in the MACD? Well, we reached a pivot point 3 market days ago. 2 market days ago, we had confirmation that momentum was now shifting to the downside. Selling pressure was building. 1 market day ago, we had a continuation of that momentum. So going into today, before we don't know what's going to happen, we can't read the future, just going into today, we know that our momentum on a daily basis is building pressure to the downside. We're building probability that we're going to have a sell-off. That's what that means. We're going to look at the strategy and see if we could have made some money today with that knowledge. So what happened? Did we get a sell-off today? Let's see. Let's see if we had a sell-off today. Yeah, we had a huge sell-off today. So that's how simple it can be sometimes. A lot of times we overthink trading, but really it's just a bunch of probabilities that are flying around really fast. And if you can slow your mind down, look at the probabilities. Let's look at the first trade. The first trade I took today was in NVIDIA. The first trade was here on this first yellow line, and it was a loss. But look at how beautiful this setup was, first of all. So we've got a fractal 4 occurring. We've got the 5-minute twins aligned to the downside. The 30-minute is now aligning. The 2-hour is aligned. This is a fractal 4. This is a very high probability that there's going to be a sell-off, that the sell-off is going to continue, because we're stacking momentum on 3 higher time frames and very specific ones at that. So I see this candle. Look what happens. The momentum is going against me. I don't want to take a trade yet. I don't want to take a short yet. Boom, this pops down. We get a volume confluence. That's my signal. I entered the trade right at the close of the candle. Stop loss slightly above that candle. Price went up, hit the stop loss. That was a loss. As soon as a little bit of time went by, 6-7 minutes, right here, what do you see? Our momentum is up, 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 up. Now it ticks down. We get a volume confluence. Volume bar greater than the previous 3. This is the setup again. Enter at the close of the candle, stop loss slightly above, or at the recent candle. All of the targets were hit, and this kept running to hit a major grand trade. Grand trade meaning you take the trade and it never comes back. You picked one of the tops or the bottoms. So it never came back. Wonderful trade. Beautiful win for the day. That's trade number 2. Trade number 3 was in Amazon. I took this trade here on the yellow line, and it was a loss. And it's because I was late to the move. Look what happened right before. Right before my entry, this yellow bar, our 5-minute twins are giving us permission to take short trades. We're aligned on all the time. We're in the middle of a fractal 4 right now in the whole market. The NASDAQ and SPY was in the middle of a big sell-off. And look at this right here. So we're moving down. Our momentum is now aligned. We can take short trades. Not here because we're going against the shorts. That's not good. The momentum is going up. Now the momentum is flipped down. And we get a volume confluence, volume bar greater than the previous 3. This was the entry. I missed the entry. I was multitasking, and I made a mistake. So the very next bar was a volume confluence, also on the right side. So I took this trade, which is a big mistake. You never do that. You always take the first opportunity. You never take the second, third, fourth, fifth opportunity. You never do that, ever, never. Always take the first opportunity. Stop loss slightly above the entry candle. Price went up, hit the stop loss. So that's one huge win and 2 losses for today. Now we're going to look at the next trade, which was in Palantir. I've been trading a lot of Palantir recently because it really respects momentum. And stocks that respect momentum are stocks that I'm going to trade for the rest of my life. Our 5-minute twins. This is losing momentum and it's about to cross over. It's close to the middle line. That's good enough. This 5-minute, the regular hours, not the extended hours, 5-minute regular hour MACD, is already well in the red, giving us permission to take trades. We're in the middle of a fractal 4 technically because this the 2-hour histogram is really going strong to the downside, but we haven't crossed over yet technically, so it's not a full fractal 4. The 30-minute heavily going down to the downside. So we got a lot of support to take short trade opportunities. What do we see? Momentum? Not going with us, not going with us, not going. Boom, we start to tick down. We get a volume confluence greater than the previous 3. You enter at the close of the candle, stop loss slightly above that candle or at the previous candle. Take profit at the first, which is normally about a 2-to-1 ratio. And that's wonderful. That's a win right there. The remainder of the position went up to hit my stop loss, and that's fine. That was another win on the day. 2 wins and 2 losses. One of the wins was a huge win. Last trade of the day was in the actual market itself in NASDAQ. What do we see here? What do we see? A massive candle. A super massive candle. Look at how big this candle is. Look at this candle. Look at all these candles. This is a average candle. These are normal candles. Look at this. Look at the volume. Our 5-minute data was working down, building up. Now, boom, we hit a huge tick down. And it hadn't gotten as close as I'd like. It hasn't crossed over yet. But it did have a nice, fast tick down with a massive volume bar. That's what sold me on the move. That's why I went into this trade. Furthermore, we were in the middle of a fractal 4 because the 2-hour and the 30-minute were also going down, taking a lot of momentum to the downside. So even though these 5-minute data sets weren't perfect and beautiful, this added a lot of conviction to the trade. So I entered here at the close of the candle, stop loss slightly above. Price went to hit that first target, and then it continued down, and it even hit the second target. So whenever we get trades that happen off of massive candles, monster candles, I have a rule. I call it rule number 11, which says, is it a mega candle? Is it a huge, monstrous candle? If so, reduce size, because you want to reduce your risk. If you bet the same amount on every trade, but you have a huge candle here, that means you're going to lose a lot more than if it was like this. You would lose very, less. So things have to be proportional. So rule number 11 says, did we have a mega candle? Okay, yes, we had a mega candle. All right, reduce the size, or if you're going to maintain the same size, take profits slightly earlier than normal. The normal level is right here, this purple level, which is about a 2-to-1 ratio. So we decided to take slightly earlier profits consciously because this is a huge candle. This might not hit this full range. The chances are even less because the larger this candle, the more pullback is likely. So you have to be very careful. This one ended up working out just as we would like. It did pull back later on in the day, but that was the final trade of the day, which was also a win. I will see you in the next one.